Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer. Today we're going to do a side-by-side comparison because both Joann's and Michael's has released a new yarn called Carousel. It's spelled differently. Oh no, it's not. I was reading the French version because Michael's always puts French on their labels. One is Carousel and one is Carousel Twist. So Joann's came out with the big twist carousel, and I only have one lonely ball of this because I'm not a huge fan of the way it feels, so I'm gonna tell you that right off the bat. It's not the softest. It's a little sticky. It's not horrible. It's not horrible, and most people that don't have sensory issues or prickly skin are not gonna have a problem with this yarn. But we're actually absolutely going to go down to the table and crochet up some swatches of this yarn. But I wanted to do a side-by-side review because Joann's released Carousel and then Michael's released the Carousel Twist. And they're both... nope. Okay. Let me get my glasses on because it's getting serious. The Big Twist Carousel from Joann says it's a number 4, but like it really is similar to thickness as Premier Puzzle, which is a number 5. And that's actually what it kind of reminds me of, is the way it looks and the way, not the way it feels. It's not as soft as Puzzle, but that's thick for a number 4. And the loops and threads from Michael's Carousel Twist is a number 5. You see that? This one actually looks thicker. It is thicker. Like even when I pull it, when you pull the strand, because sometimes it'll be like fluffy because it's loose spun or something. Even when I pull it, come on, focus. It doesn't get any thinner. There we go. See, it doesn't get thinner. Alright, so what are the specs on this yarn? So the Big Twist Carousel, well, actually let me pull out my phone because I don't remember how much I paid for this. It is a number 4, but it's 170. Alright, it's 170 yards for 100 grams. The Carousel Twist is 213 yards for 150 grams. Let me do a little math real quick. Let me do some math. So 170 divided, well, I mean that's 1.7 yards per gram. 213 versus 1.42 yards per gram. So there's not a huge difference in the thickness or the weight of the yarn. It's like minor. And I know that doesn't mean anything to anybody, but in my head, like, it made perfect sense. Okay. So the Big Twist Carousel is 100% premium acrylic. And I hate when they say premium acrylic, and this is just acrylic. I mean, I don't find anything premium about this acrylic. I don't know. I don't have anything against Big Twist. I love regular Big Twist. Big Twist is a really good yarn. This does not feel premium or exceptional by any stretch of the imagination. I'm opening my Joann's app so I can see how much I actually paid for this. I like the Joann's app. I don't know if you know this. You open up the Joann's app, right? And then if you click up here at the top, this little button right there. Oh, that wasn't it. That little button right there. Boop. Come on. I didn't click. There we go. It opens up a scanner, and then you can price scan. Okay, these are regularly $6.99 each. And they're on sale $3.99, and I think I paid $3.99. This one is the color Hyacinth, which is the one that actually popped up on the screen. It's kind of red, white, and blue and purple. There's not like a whole lot of purple. Like this is kind of purpley. It's looking gray on screen. It's definitely purpley. Yeah. It's not bad to, like, it sticks to my fingers a little bit. And it feels dry, like it's gonna dry my hands out. So premium acrylic is kind of questionable. It's a little bit questionable. I'm trying to play with where my camera is, because you guys know I got a new desk, so if I'm moving things and arranging things, it's because I'm trying to make sure it looks good, especially because I had to move the camera rig on this side so we can go down to the table. Alright, so it says machine washable, low iron, do not bleach, do not tumble dry, lay flat, or dry flat. Recommends 4.5mm crochet hook, 4.5 to 5mm knitting needles. It's got a lot of like fuzz coming off of it, so I can see why it says don't tumble dry, because it's just gonna get even more like fuzzy pilly, and I can tell you that just from touching it. So let's move on to the Carousel Twist from Loops and Thread. This is at Michael's. Now let me pull up the Michael's app, because like I said, that was regularly $6.99 and is on sale as of the recording of this video for $3.99. And I think it's a really good deal for $3.99. I don't know that I would pay $6.99 after feeling it, because I ordered that online because they don't have it in my store. They don't have a whole lot in my store lately. I do not want no search. Michael's app also has the same little thing right here. If you click it, it opens up the scanner, but you have to allow your thing to, you know, scan it. Come on, let's try it. It's literally, there we go. Alright, so this is regularly $7.99 and I paid $5.99 and I bought it on sale at $5.99, but you can also use your coupons and get it for about $5.99 if it is a regular price. I would pay $7.99 for this all day long because it's soft and it's squishy and it feels really nice. This says it's 100% acrylic. Like I said, it's 213 yards. You scan here for free patterns. Just use your phone and scan that. It should take you to the website. Machine wash warm, tumble dry low. Love that. So that already, there's extra points to this one. It's a little bit higher price, but I mean, you can throw it in the washer dryer and it's super soft. It's just got a really good squish to it. I ordered a bunch more in this color specifically because I want to make myself something. This is the color, did I tell you? What color is this? It says on the website, but not on the label. You know what? It might be on the label. Hang on. Yep. Okay. So, Loops and Threads. Michael's in particular is rebranding. All of the yarn that used to be labeled something else is now being relabeled with the new Loops and Threads labels, and they have moved where the color name is. The color name used to be right here by the barcode, which is easy to find because you look for that big giant barcode and you're like, oh, there's the color name. And see, Joann's did the same thing. It's like the color name's not here, it's down here. So now, instead of having the color name here, the color name is by the UPC, what is this called? That's not a UPC code. I can't think of what that's called. You know what I'm talking about. Little man would know. He'd be yelling at me right now. QR code. QR code. Now it's right here by the QR code. It says this is the color birthday cake. To me, this is more like Easter eggs. Like, I don't know. It reminds me of like Easter and like dyeing Easter eggs. I just think it's so... Although, who really wants to buy something called eggs? Like, eggs have a lot of like negative... Like, you think of eggs, you think of stinky. Like, you know... this sulfurous smell that you get when you overcook an egg. That's what I think of anyway. So anyway, nice, squishy. It's a bulky weight, so it'll work up faster. This, what's funny is this looks more like the Premier Puzzle yarn, and this feels more like the Premier Puzzle yarn. So this has that nice soft squish that you get from Premier Puzzle, and neither of these are just store brand. So the Big Twist is Joann's store brand. Loops and Threads is Michael's store brand. This one recommends a 5.5mm hook. So what I need to do is find a 5.5, that's a 6. That's an 8. See, I rearranged all my hooks. Now they're not easily accessible, but 5.5. 5.5. And then she recommended 4.5. But honestly, like, it's thicker. I'm not trying it with a 4.5. I mean, and because that first hook I pulled out is, I'm going to pull out a secondary 5.5 because sometimes wood hooks don't agree with certain yarns. So I'm going to have a backup option on deck. Actually, we'll just pop it right there. So it's on deck. And then we're going to go down to the table and we're going to work up little swatches of both of these yarns. And I'm going to give you a more in-depth review or opinions on what I'm feeling about this. It's going to be the first time I'm filming on this desk, so I'm a little bit excited. I'll be right back. I think I'm just going to start with the resin hook because honestly, that's my favorite hook. It's, you know, this is an Ommi hook. It's very beautiful. Having focusing issues again. Try to center pull and see if I can find the center of this. Feels like there's a big old tangle. I'm starting with the big twist carousel. And it feels like it is a rat's nest in here. Yep. I felt it like right off the bat. Now, if you look at the yarn, it really is, see, there's the end. Let me pull it apart so I can grab it. It's really fuzzy. It's really fuzzy. It looks like it's going to work up the color very similar to it. Honestly, the way it looks, color-wise, and the twist reminds me of Premier Puzzle, but it is not soft like the Premier Puzzle. And if I'm going to recommend this, between this and the Premier Puzzle, I'm going to say go with the Puzzle. The Puzzle is better. But we're not comparing this to the Puzzle. We're comparing it to the other Carousel. I'm going to try to slide you guys back a little bit because, like I said, we're adjusting. This is a new desk. It's up higher than the other one used to be. Is a different, yeah. I cannot imagine using a smaller hook for this. Because look at how much it fills the throat already. I think if you used a smaller hook with this, like it's recommended a 4.5 millimeter, I think you're gonna, you know what, I have a 4. That's just a 4 millimeter. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try it. I think if you use a smaller hook like it's recommended, it's gonna, seriously, it's either gonna split or you're gonna not be able to work with it. This is very rough. It feels very rough against my skin. And I am predicting that it will cause either blisters or it's gonna cause, see, it's splitting and I didn't even make it in the hole properly. I'm probably not going to recommend the Big Twist Carousel unless you like, this feels woolly almost, but not like a good merino wool, like a basic generic wool, and it's allegedly premium acrylic. The price is definitely better at the $3.99 sale price. I just don't see myself enjoying working with this. And I kind of knew that from the second I touched it. When I opened this up and I unbagged it, and I was like, don't really like the way that feels. It's not splitting with the 5.5 millimeter, but I'm pretty much going to guarantee it's going to split with the, move my cord out of the way. I'm guaranteed it's going to split with something smaller. Maybe I need to see, it's, I don't know. It's snagging on stuff that it shouldn't be snagging on because this is a really smooth hook. And it's grabbing at threads that are kind of looped, hanging off. Now I'm going to give you a total disclaimer. I don't work for Joann's. I don't work for Michael's. They don't really know who I am. They don't care who I am. Matter of fact, Michael's Loss Prevention was following me in the store one time because he thought I was doing something. I was just picking up my order and buying yarn. So, I mean, my local store at least doesn't care about me. I don't think my local Joann's cares about me either, I'm going to be real honest. Yeah, this is really, like, it's rubbing across my knuckle and it's feeling like, it's just feeling rough. I hope you're enjoying today's musical stylings by the wind chime on my porch while we use this squeaky hook. I'm going to switch to the wood hook and see if that changes anything. Because sometimes what hook you use makes it. This is much better. Okay. It is crocheting much smoother with the wood hook than it was with the resin hook. However, that's not going to be the case for all wood hooks. This hook is just, this is also an Amazon purchase. This is one of my favorite hooks. Mr. Cinnamon bought this for me. It's really, really smooth. It's got like a lot of lacquer or something on it. It just is really super duper smooth. Yeah, see it's splitting. And it shouldn't be. Hanging up on itself, which is causing it to want to look at this. I'm going to predict this isn't going to frog very well very easily either, because you see the way it's sticking on itself in the ball. It's going to do that when you try to frog it, and it's because of all those little hairs that keep pulling out the way they are. You see how right there is just like, hair sticking out for no good reason. I'm going to say pass on this one. If you're Joann's and you want yarn that's really pretty, I mean, there's way more options. The Big Twist regular is, or the Big Twist value, the Big Twist pound plus, those are all really good yarns. I would probably be more inclined to knit with this yarn and make like a cute little hat, because I think this would be really pretty with a hat. It's pretty yarn. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty. And I'm going to predict that this color changes a lot like the puzzle yarn. Let me grab the puzzle because I have a color of puzzle that's similar to this. As a matter of fact, this is the old Loops and Threads that is like a better version of this yarn. I don't have a preference one way or the other between Michael's or Joann's, but this is a very similar yarn to the puzzle. See, this is the puzzle. This is Impressions by Loops and Threads. I don't know if they still sell this. Let me open my Michael's app and check. New turn. They do still, in fact, sell this, and it's $8.99. But see how the coloring is similar in the way that it works up? The way that it looks, anyway. The Michael's Loops and Threads Impressions, very similar. Quite possibly the same thing as the puzzle. I didn't even know I had this in my stash. And again, this says it's a bulky. This says it's a bulky 5. This says it's a worsted weight. They're really similar to the same thickness. It's slightly thinner. The puzzle, feels exactly the same as that yarn for Michael's. See, so the way the puzzle works up is, see how the colors kind of fade into each other on the label? I have a feeling that the Carousel from Joann's is going to do the same thing, but I'm going to tell you, go with the puzzle or the Impressions from Michael's instead of this. if this is the color, like the color feel that you want where it fades from one color to the next, I'm going to recommend a different yarn than this. This is not my favorite. So I'm gonna crochet a little bit more on it and just see, because now that we switched hooks, it does feel a lot smoother, and it's not squeak. It's still, it's splitty. And puzzle is not splitty at all. Daughter's making noise in the background. So see how it starts to change color just slightly? I don't know if you see it. See, it's starting to change color here. It will ever so gently fade from one color to the next, which is what I love about the puzzle yarn. I didn't even know about that Impressions yarn for Michael's over there. I grabbed it and thought it was puzzle. So this yarn will fade from one color to the next. Very smooth transitions. I'm trying to get to a darker spot in this so you can see. Because see how it's going lighter and it's slowly fading darker. And it's so minimal. Some people might not actually be able to tell the difference because it's so up close. You can kind of tell it's darker here than it is here. But people who are colorblind or have like issues with shades, like colorblind people or people with any kind of vision issues, might not be able to see the color change because it's so slight, which is one of the positives about this yarn. I know I don't have a lot of real positive things to say about it because it's irritating my skin, and that's grating on my nerves a little bit. I'm glad I switched hooks though. This hook feels way better than that resin hook felt. Alright, so you should be able to tell a little bit more of a difference between the lighter and the darker blue. And it keeps just fading. It'll go darker and more purple, and then it will fade more into the red color, and it will just keep fading from color to color. And it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It is going to make a beautiful project. I'm going to have to use a lot of lotion with this yarn. I think it might work up better with knit than with crochet, but I'm probably just going to crochet and call it a day and make a hat. Because there's only 170 yards, I should be able to make a pretty good size hat for myself. The finished fabric feels softer than it feels outside of the ball. And maybe it's because we're like breaking up some of those fibers a little bit, but it does feel softer in the finished project than it feels going across my knuckles. But I foresee this giving me a blister, and well, it's frogging better than I thought it would. It's definitely frogging better than I thought it would. I thought it was going to snag, so I was wrong there. Nope. See, this is what I was afraid was going to happen. You see how those little hairs kind of like intertwine and then they snag on each other? Well, we only had one little snag. One little snafu. It's not terrible. It's just not my favorite. Alright, but we're comparing apples to apples because this is also Carousel acrylic. This is just from a different store. This right off the bat is not tangled on the inside, and the inside pull was very easy to find. We're going to do like we did with the other one. We're going to start with the plastic hook. Now, even though in the ball it didn't seem like there was much difference, feeling it now I could feel that it is definitely thicker. It's definitely like, even like when you pull it out, it plumps up even more, which I am all about. I love yarn that plumps. I love it. It seems like it's got not a super tight twist, so splitting might be an issue, but we'll see. Now, what really drew me to this yarn is that it is so squishy, like even in the ball. And I might have to go up a hook size, because that is really filling. You see how it's filling that? I feel like this would be better with a bigger hook, but we're going to try it with the 5.5 because that's what it recommends. Yeah, see how I keep missing or slipping? Oh, this yarn squish. What drew me to this yarn was the squish factor, but the colors. I am all about bright, cheery colors, and this just screams color to me. Like, I want a whole cardigan in this. I want a whole cardigan or a sweater in this yarn. Because I just think it's so pretty and colorful. Or like, this would be a really nice little blanket. Definitely, because it's squishy. I feel like I'm definitely struggling with the size of, it might be this hook. This one seems to have a deeper throat, so we'll just switch out and see if that makes a difference. Yeah. I think that Ommi hook just has a shallow throat. Which, because Ommi hooks are like handcrafted hooks, sometimes there are variations from hook to hook. And so, same thing with this wooden hook. Like, you might have two of the same size hooks of this type, but because they're handmade, it's gonna definitely change the way each hook works. So that's why I always say, is like, when you're struggling with a yarn, it might not be the yarn, it might be the hook yarn combination. So go ahead and switch out hooks. It might be that that yarn don't like wood. It might be that maybe, like, especially when you're working with handcrafted utensils, tools, there might be slight variations from hook to hook. Always have one or two extra hooks around. You can swap out if you're hating that yarn. This is squishy. A little baby cardigan would be so cute with this yarn. A hat. Isn't that pretty? It's so cute. It's giving me speckles or sprinkles. It looks like sprinkles. It's so stinking cute. Now this one does have a higher price tag. This retails for $1 more regular price. So the carousel, the first carousel from Joann's was $6.99 regular. This is $7.99 regular. And feeling this, I probably would pay $7.99 for this because it does feel very much. It has the squish of the Premier Puzzle. It's very similar feel. It's actually a little bit thicker than the puzzle. I'm here for that. Let's compare it next to the impressions because they're both Michaels. Yeah. It's definitely softer than the impressions for Michaels. About the same thickness, I think. So, like I said, I paid $5.99 for this on sale. I would definitely look for the coupons and try to pay $5.99 because who wants to spend $7.99 on yarn when you can pay $5.99, right? But I'm loving this yarn, and it comes in some really pretty colors. Fun, cheerful spring type colors, which is funny that they're doing spring colors in a bulky yarn because very commonly I have found that yarn companies will go, oh, it's a bulky yarn, we're going to do it in dark colors because of the winter, but I want to wear bright sunshiny colors in the winter too. I don't want to wear dull dreary colors in the winter. I have a hard enough time with the dull dreary weather. So I'm happy about that, but I'm surprised by it at the same time because usually the spring colors, the bright, fun, cheerful colors, are the colors on the thin, skinny yarns because, oh, that's your summer colors, that's your spring colors. You know, you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day and all them weird rules people made up a long time ago. I will wear white when I want to wear white. Don't tell me when I can wear white. I'm wearing white right now. So yeah, this is super cute, super squish. I give this 5 out of 5 stars. I give this 10 out of 5 stars. I love this. That's probably why I bought more. I am definitely going to make myself something out of that. Don't forget to have extra hooks if you're doing swatchies on stuff, or you're like working with a yarn, you're like, ooh, I don't like the way this yarn feels, I don't like the way it's working up. Switch out your hook and see if it makes a difference. So I frogged that, so I can't show you the sample side by side, but definitely go with the Michael's Carousel and leave Joann's Carousel alone. Let somebody else ride that ride. Unless you love, but see, even if you love the colors, I can't recommend this, because there are other yarns on the market that will give you the same look and effect. Impressions from Loops and Threads, Premier Puzzle. It's similar. I mean, matter of fact, these are a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more colorful, prettier, softer. Yeah, leave the Joann's Carousel alone. We're going to ride with Loops and Threads today. It's going to be the only carousel we ride is the Carousel Twist. Thank you so much for watching this yarn review featured by Cinnamon Stitches. Let me know your opinions if you've worked with either of these yarns. Like, put that in the comments below. I love hearing conversations and what other people's opinions are. If you have so much as felt these in the store, like, you can leave your comment on that below. If you've worked with it, I want to hear that too. And yeah, if you have opinions on the puzzle versus the carousel, you can put that. I mean, if you have opinions on any of this yarn, just put it in the comments below. We'll talk. But definitely check out what's available. There are some really great new yarns coming out right now, and I'm so excited for all of them. And we got beautiful bright colors coming out, and I'm really excited about it. I love new yarn. It makes me so happy. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.